Hello there. Olatunji Shobodu is my name. Leadership Mondays. And here we share a nugget or two to help you do leadership right this week. A nugget or two to help you do leadership right this week. Today, I'll be speaking on traits to get rid of. Traits to get rid of. Let's establish first that the job of a leader is to nurture and grow the people. Your job as a leader is to nurture your people, is to grow them. It is to add value to who they are. It is to, put in them or develop in them the capacity to get results, the capacity to make impact, the capacity to do great things, indeed, greater things than you are able to do. That's what leaders do. And believe it or not, the greatest impact a leader can make and is expected to make in his or her people is on their behavior. Leadership is about shaping and reshaping behavior. If you like, you can call it character. If you like, you can call it personality. For this purpose, let's use them interchangeably. All right, so if you are a leader, please, you are dealing with people. And what is important, what makes a person is the personality of the person. What makes a person of value is the character of the person. Every other thing is secondary. Character is crucial. Character is crucial. All right. So that ought to be our focus. And I'm suggesting to you that as you step forward, as you carry on your leadership assignment this week, can you please rededicate yourself or focus more on the character of the people? When you get character right, every other thing will fall into place. That performance that you are worried about, it will fall into place. The shortcomings that you're observing in your people, it will fall into place. Focus on character. But more specifically, I want to draw your attention to certain behavioral traits that you need to do away with, that you need your people also to do away with. And if you will, let's read from 1 Peter chapter 2. And I'll read just two verses, verse 1 and 2. Remember, this is coming to you, under the auspices of Emet Leadership Academy. Emet stands for truth, is the Hebrew word for truth. And our tagline is leadership nurtured by truth. Leadership nurtured by truth. And so for us, the source of truth is the word of God. We bring a biblical perspective, with lots of experience, by the way, to the subject of leadership. So very quickly, let's look at what this says. And I'm reading from the Amplified Version this time, 1 Peter 2, verses 1 and 2. It says, so put aside every trace of malice, number 1, and all deceit, number 2, and hypocrisy, number 3, and envy, or if you like, jealousy, number 4, and all slander, number 5, and finally, hateful or hurtful speech. So these are things, these are behavioral traits that you must ensure you as a leader, you do away with them, and your people do away with them. Now, the crisis of leadership is that unless and until you do away with them at your own level as the leader, your people can't do away with them. You can't get your people to do away with them. If you try to get your people to do away with these traits as a leader, when you exhibit them, then you will be categorizing yourself under one of those, which is hypocrisy. And make no mistake, I always repeat it, hypocrisy is the greatest challenge of leaders and of leadership, is living true to who you say you are. It is doing what you demand your people to do. It is being and exhibiting, all right, the exact example that you are demanding from your people. As simple as that is, it is onerous to live up to it. I mean, I must be truthful. It is onerous to live up to it. And guess why it is so important? You and I know that if you are a hypocrite, how can you earn my respect? How can you earn my trust? How can I believe in you when all I observe with you is that you say what you don't mean? And maybe you even mean what you don't say. So it's difficult to get people to follow you, to commit to you in the way that is required for you to make any meaningful impact on them as a leader. When you are a hypocrite, when you are not living up to the things that you say, and it's very easy, for you to say, oh, well, I don't fall in that category. You can't say that until you truly examine yourself. You can't say that until you truly examine yourself. I can guarantee you. You can't say that until you truly examine yourself. That's why many of us as leaders need to do a lot of self-introspection. A lot of self-introspection. All right? We need it. We need it. Otherwise, we may just be projecting something other than what we are demanding. And so you wonder why people are not committing to you. Yes, it's because that's the picture that they see. Although you think you are painting a different picture. So let's back up, a bit and very quickly just re-emphasize that. These are dangerous traits. If they subsist in your people, you can't develop good leaders. You can't have good successors as leaders. That is the truth. That is the truth. Your people, if they are to grow, if you are to nurture them, pay attention to malice. All right? Getting unnecessarily agitated, offended at what others do, not working to maintain a good relationship with others. All right? And maybe in some cases, you are just threatened. All right? Malice. Deceit. Deceit is part of what hypocrisy involves. All right? And there are many reasons why people want to deceive others. Some even think that is a good strategy for them to project themselves above others. And so when they're within a team, they don't share all the information. All right? Deceit is a behavioral trait that will undermine you. You can't be a good leader if you are deceitful. You can't. Hypocrisy, I've talked about that. It's a favorite topic for me, and hopefully a book on it will come out soon. But that's it. Envy, also, being jealous about what other people have. In a sense, it's an expression of inferiority complex. All right. And a leader must be able to observe that in the people and to develop your people to believe in themselves and in what they are capable of doing. Okay. And also, slander. You have to do away with slander, making statements that are false in order to destroy others or in order to discredit others or to undermine the reputation of others. Slander. It is not a trait of a good leader. And also, hateful speech. And it's one of the things you see nowadays. Everybody just talks anyhow. Even those you expect to know. We no longer, you seldom, experience graceful words come out of the mouths of leaders. It's a shame, it's worrisome. And so if leaders speak in that manner, how will their proteges speak? How will your followers speak? When you are meant to be an example, what are you teaching them? And is it possible that you're teaching them not to go in a particular direction, but when they listen to you, all they hear is precisely the things that you're telling them not to do? Again, hypocrisy. So those are the things I want to, emphasize. But if we are wise, then we know that it's very important that we focus on ourselves as leaders and make sure that these traits are not found in us. And by the way, if these traits are found in you, then you are a baby leader. Perhaps you are not yet qualified to lead. Because these are basic traits that simple teaching, all right, ought to deal with or will deal with in the lives of those who follow you. So if a leader is still harboring them, then that's a shame. That's a shame. And the reason that I say simple teachings will deal with them is what was said in verse 2. It said, be like newborn babies, or like newborn babies, you should long for the pure milk of the word, so that by it you may be nurtured and grow in respect of salvation. All right. So the milk of the word, he said that's what you should go for. The milk of the word will nurture and grow, your people. And it will take care of these traits. So imagine if a leader is still exhibiting these traits. What a shame. What a shame. What a shame. So I want to, commend those few words to you, draw your attention to, how you need to conduct yourself, the things that you may want to pay attention to, as you go on this week, carrying on your leadership responsibility. And I hope that will be helpful to you. Once again, my name is Olatunji Shobodu. This is Leadership Mondays, and we have been discussing the subject traits, behavioral traits to get rid of. As a leader, get rid of that. Watch out for that. And watch out for them, especially in your followers, and get rid of that. And the way you do that is to identify them, to point them to those shortcomings, and to teach them, all right, how to overcome them. That's how, you can do that. All right, you would see, I think that's where it is. My new book, Does This Offend You? How to handle today's tough leadership realities. You would, see the link if you're interested. You can order the book, the e-copy or the hard copy via Amazon. Please go ahead, lay your hands on a copy. It will surely be a blessing to you, and I would appreciate your feedback. I'd also appreciate your feedback on today's, what we have shared today, what we have discussed today, in the comments. Please give a feedback. I would love to hear from you. Also, if you have not subscribed, subscribe to the channel, share the link with others. If this has, helped you, then why not be your brother's keeper and share it on your various platforms and help others so they can listen, to these nuggets every Monday, 11 a.m. West African time, we call it Leadership Mondays, brought to you by Emmet Leadership Academy, where I'm CEO and founder. And remember, our tagline is leadership nurtured by truth. Leadership nurtured by truth. See you next week, Monday.